Hi there, this is Josh. I just wanted to share with you some more books that I had bought. I went to Columbus Farmers Market, which is a place where you can get just about anything and everything. And one of the best things you can find there are books. There's a book stand outside in one of the barns, and I enjoy going there. The guy that runs the guy that runs the place actually came out with his own new book called Just Like That, and I'll leave a link to it. If you're interested in 50 Shades of Grey, that's not really my thing, but if you like it, then I'll leave it there so that you can check it out. Some of the things I found there to add to my Michener collection, Tales of the South Pacific, which is his very first book, and it has to do with the world of particular people. It's in the South Pacific during the time of the Second World War, I would imagine. Next thing that I picked up was Childhood's End, Arthur C. Clarke, who is one of the big three in science fiction. Has to do with overlords taking over the world and how they begin to dominate. And speaking of Big Three, I also picked up Orphans of the Sky by Robert A. Heinlein, who, in this world, actually there is no, the universe is in a big ship, and that is the way the universe turns. So, I also finally caved into popular opinion, and I picked up Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I heard about this in an episode of 2020, and something very similar happened. The wife allegedly ran away from her husband and newborn daughter, and just something really wild pursued. Next thing was Balzac and the Little Chinese Seamstress, which takes place during their cultural revolution, where they were re-educated, which is education through labor. I also picked up The Dinner by Herman Koch, who is a Dutch writer, and it has to do with this wild plot about two teenage boys who they engaged in a horrific act, and during this dinner, everything starts to explode. Next thing I picked up, Running with Scissors by Augusten Burroughs. He is the younger brother of John Elder Robinson, who wrote Look Me in the Eye, Living with Asperger's Syndrome. Burroughs, the fact that he was his younger brother, he had some interesting events of his own during his childhood. I also picked up two books by Joyce Carol Oates. The Falls, which is a gothic horror piece. Couple gets married, goes to Niagara Falls, and the husband decides to jump into the falls, and he ends up disappearing, and it has to do with her life onward. And Wild Nights is something that really caught my attention. It has to do with the last days of Edgar Allan Poe, Emily Dickinson, Mark Twain, Henry James, and Ernest Hemingway. I'll be really eager to check these out, especially from Poe and Hemingway, because they were interesting individuals, and their last days were really, they really require attention. Last thing I got was John Irving's The Fourth Hand. He wrote The Cider House Rules, but this one has to do with a journalist who loses his left hand because it was eaten by a lion, and how the widow, the donor's widow, the donor who donated his hand, how she wants to see the left hand because it's some kind of connection to her husband. Oh, somebody wants to come on? Oh, oh hello, Colleen. Hello there. Allegedly, she saw Minnie and Tito appear on the show, and I guess she wanted to be on herself as well. Hello there. You like my books? You like when I read to you? Already there. Already. Want a closer look? Okay. There we go. Already there. There we go. Already. Here's what I got at Columbus. If you're in the area, if for some reason you're visiting eastern Burlington County, or just visiting the state for some reason, or you live in the area, I highly suggest that you check out the Columbus Farmers Market. And one of their buildings had burnt down, and they're up for their rebuilding. And one of which was a bookstore called Typo Magazine, and they're going to be looking for support as well. And I highly suggest that you check them out. I got some books there before. I think that they'll be happy to have you there. Thank you for watching, and keep reading.